Okay. So first, let's start out with what the CEO of Mercedes said. So he actually commented about the Euro 7 emissions laws, and I'll talk about what the Euro 7 laws are actually, right? I'll explain what it all means and stuff. So he said that he said we need a reality check, otherwise we're heading full speed against the wall. So basically, the Euro 7, well, not just Euro 7, right? This is just in general in Europe. They want to cut back on emissions, and they just want to go more green and friendly, which that's their own thing. Um, so their plan for in Europe is to ban gas combustion engine cars after 2035. So after 2035, they're not going to have any combustion engines anymore, right? So uh, and that's a pretty big deal, right? Because if Germany bans that, bans combustion engines, what do you have? That's the next biggest competitor. You have the Chinese EVs, and they make them dirt cheap. Those EV cars from China are really, really cheap, right? So all the German manufacturers, if they're stuck to just making those EV cars, which they have luxury, etc., but at the end of the day, if you see a Chinese EV for 20,000, not a lot of people are going to pay for the $100,000 Mercedes EV, right? So that's a very, very big deal. The Chinese can make EVs all day, right? Super easy to make EVs. However, when was the last time they made a gas engine car that just drove well, has performance, etc.? They don't. They don't make those cars. I'm not even sure if they really have a popular. Is there a popular Chinese brand? I don't think so, right? You have Korean, you have Genesis, Japanese, obviously, but China really doesn't make combustion engine cars, right? The EVs are easy to produce. What do you need for an EV car? Batteries, motors. That's it, right? So if Europe is trying to ban combustion engine cars, that just gives an easy route for the Chinese EVs to just take over. Porsche, Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes, all of them are going to get hammered right away. There might be people that still want to buy them, but I mean, for the majority of people in the countries, you see a $20,000 EV, you're not going to buy it, right? So let's talk about it, right? And let's also talk about the current emissions laws that they're trying to impose, which is Euro 7 emissions. It's called Euro 7 emissions, right? And there's different rules on which cars to apply to, meaning like when the car was released, etc. But for the most part, it's gonna impact cars by 2027. Okay, so I'm gonna go over it. So in Euro 7, and I kind of like this part of Euro 7. They have real driving emissions. So in order to calculate emissions for a car, usually what they do is they test the engine and the car inside of a controlled environment like a lab, right? And this is how Volkswagen was able to cheat it with the big Volkswagen Dieselgate thing, right? It was all done in a lab. That's where the test was done for the emissions, right? But now they're trying to implement, it's called real driving emissions, meaning the car goes out on a drive and they test it that way on different elevations, etc., right? Now, they said in the Euro 7 emissions regulations that the car also has to be uh, the emissions components, meaning the catalytic converters and the OPF, which America doesn't have the OPF, but the catalytic converters and the engine needs to last at least 10 years, 100,000 miles, which in my mind, I'm like, that's a pretty good law to implement because then you won't have engines like the S63 and the M5 just blowing up, right? But that was pretty good. Now, the big bombshell that Euro 7 regulations wants to impose is Lambda 1 on ratio on all the cars released and on higher RPM and lower RPM. Now, what does Lambda 1 mean? The ratio. Let's take a step back, right? When your car, when you drive your car, the different air to fuel ratios that the engine uses depends on how much power you need or what RPM it's operating at. Meaning, if you're at lower RPMs, not really stringing out the engine, don't need much power, it's running more towards lean. Obviously, it's not using as much fuel. That's obvious. However, when your car reaches higher RPMs, you need more performance, you need more fuel, etc. Cars run a little bit rich so that they can kind of save, they can kind of have a little buffer or a safety mechanism to prevent knock, right? Because it doesn't hurt to have extra fuel in the combustion chamber at higher RPMs. It saves the engine, right? What the Euro 7 laws want to do is that they want lambda 1, which lambda 1 means that you have a perfect mixture between air and fuel. I forgot the exact ratio, but it's like 14 something parts of air, 1 part of fuel. And that's the perfect combustion process. All the air is used up, all the fuel is used up, right? There's no waste at all. Nothing coming out of the exhaust, etc. They want to run, or Euro 7 is saying they want lambda 1 at even higher RPMs, which is crazy because for forever, every single car at higher RPMs when it's in boost, needs more power out of the engine, they always run a little rich as a safety buffer. Now the Euro 7 laws are saying you can't do that anymore. You need to be at lambda 1 regardless of where you are in the RPM band, how much power you're using, etc. What does that lead to? Less emissions. What have I been telling you guys for the last 3 months? Emissions, 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 emissions. That's what matters most. Now, this is where the problem comes, right? BMW can push, I'm going to talk about BMW, but other car brands like Volkswagen, Mercedes. But I'm going to just say BMW for context, right? BMW can make an engine that operates at lambda 1 at higher RPMs, lower RPMs. No problem. They could do that, right? They have better fuel injectors, just better tuning on the cars, better combustion events, better ignition. Just overall, they can do it. It is possible. It's not the safest, but it is possible, right? However, this means that let me go back a little bit. Euro 7 also says that the ECUs, or the DMEs for BMWs and other manufacturers, cannot be tampered with. And this is a new thing that everybody's starting to see. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, you can't tune them. Everybody's asking, why can't we tune them? Why can't we? Does BMW hate us? BMW doesn't hate you, don't worry. They probably don't even know about you, but I'm saying they have to do it for Euro 7 regulations. You have to prevent the ECU from being tampered with. Why? Say it with me, guys. For regulations. Okay? Steaks, what's good, bro? Now, this leads me to my next point, right? Since the ECUs are locked, what is everybody doing? It's my favorite company. I'm kidding. My favorite company. JB4s. That's what everybody's running. What does that do, though? That's a big, big problem. If the engine is programmed to run at lambda 1, right? The factory tuning, it needs to run at lambda 1. You plug in a JB4, it's like, yeah, I'm going to make some extra power now. Hold on. All a JB4 does, we talked about this, all a JB4 does is lie to your ECU. It's saying, hey, you're making less boost than you actually are. The engine's like, okay, raise the boost pressure. Okay, raise the boost pressure. But the engine is still trying to operate at lambda 1. It's still trying to operate at that crazy, crazy lambda 1, even at high RPMs, right? Because on a JB4, you can't control ignition and, I believe, fueling, right, on the locked ECUs. You can't control it. So you're pushing more boost into an engine, right? and it's trying to operate at lambda 1, the perfect air fuel mixture. No buffer, no safe zone. How long do you think it'll take before one bad combustion event to happen before that engine blows up? Right? And this is why I'm so hard on JB4. This isn't like a, little joke anymore. No, if one thing goes wrong in that car, fueling, ignition, right? Because sometimes fuel injectors and spark plugs, they do go bad. Sometimes it's just age, they go bad. Imagine you're doing a wide open throttle pull, right? You're running 30 PSI, whatever it may be. You cranked up the boost with the JB4, and your fuel injector starts to act out in the middle of a wide open throttle pull. It's trying to run at lambda 1. Bro, your engine is cooked. It's beyond cooked. It's absolutely destroyed. Right? I'm not a fan of the locked ECUs, but that doesn't mean that I destroy my engine just to make more power. Right? Which, by the way, and I love all these guys saying that, yeah, man, I'm going to just put on JB4. BMW won't know about it. BMW's going to know about it. Yep. BMW can check your boost levels. They can check how strung out the engine was. Any bad combustion events. They can check all of that. Don't worry. They can check all. So don't think you blow up your engine and I'm going to take it to BMW and get my warranty claim. Nope. You think they look at their spreadsheet. They're like, okay, we have a bunch of M340s. None of them went wrong. Hold on. We have this one M340 in America. How did it you think they don't investigate it? You think they don't open an investigation and look into it? You think they're just going to hand out engines like, you get an engine, No. They're going to look into it. So the JB4 not only doesn't help with tuning, right? Because you're still running at lambda 1, which again, guys, lambda 1 is the perfect air fuel mixture. Not lean, not rich. It's perfect. However, what does that mean? No buffer, no margin of error, right? Zero margin of error. So you got no room to make power without fully flashing the whole ECU. You can't just crank up the boost, right? You need to flash the ECU, make it run rich at higher RPMs, etc., right? Terrible. Now, I wrote down some notes, obviously, because I'm trying to keep track of everything, give you guys everything. So, we talked about anti-tampering. Again, Euro 7 regulations, they're talking about you can't let the ECU get tampered with. That's why they're locking down ECUs, okay? Let's see. Oh, I love this. Now, have you guys noticed on the Gen 3 B58s why they don't burble? You guys have noticed it, right? Every single post that I see on Reddit, the forums, they're like, oh man, I bought the new Gen 3 LCI B58 or the M340, but it doesn't burble. It doesn't burble at all. It makes zero noise. It's just engine room. It's just straight engine, which some people like. But people are wondering what happened, right? Again, lambda 1. It's running the perfect air fuel mixture. There's no fuel getting dumped in the exhaust anymore, right? BMW says that the Gen 3 M340i or B58 is Euro 7 compliance ready, right? Which is good news and bad news. Good news is you're going to get an M340 with a 6-cylinder, so you're not losing the engine. Bad news, no burbles, no tuning. It's the way it is. And remember, guys, I said this before, it's a European car. They play on different rules. They have to make sure that the car fits their regulations first before they worry about other countries. I know in America we have a little bit lax laws when it comes to emissions, etc., but they got to worry about their own country first, their own region, Euro 7, right? Before they worry about any of that stuff. I love it. Joe said JB plus safer. Yeah, JB plus, it means that you blow up your engine in a fancier way. That's JB plus. Get out of here, bro. JB, all this JB stuff. Come on, man. Um, Future trends. Yeah. So now here comes the problem, right? I don't know what they're gonna do. I seriously, a big change needs to happen in order for BMW to and other German brands to really improve or be able to sell more cars, right? The problem is that, especially with this Euro stuff is crazy. They're trying to create just EV cars altogether 2035. Just straight EV, which is terrible. I really don't know how they're going to survive in the market. And the Mercedes CEO is right. Mercedes CEO is 100% right. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough. I really don't know what they're going to do unless a big change comes up, like a huge Euro change. I have no idea, because they're in deep trouble if this keeps going on. And I'm not just talking about the EV mandate in Europe, right? Let's say they can continue producing engines. It's not going to be as competitive, right? If the Americans, if we have Blackwings, Corvettes, Mustangs, and I hate to say that, but Mustangs, you can tune them, have fun with them. They're not as, bad. These German cars are in some deep trouble, really deep trouble. So, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I'll take any of your questions, comments, guys. I know I was rambling, but it's really important. Like this stuff, this Euro compliance stuff, this is going to follow us for the next 10 to 15 years. And if nothing changes, bro, the German manufacturers are some deep trouble. Seriously, they're in some deep trouble, right? I've heard some people running Catalyst with no tune. The ECU can't compensate for that, right? Okay, if you have a catalytic converter on your car and you just threw it out, okay, you took the thing, you threw it out, the car is going to throw a check engine light code, right? Because it's detecting that the oxygen sensor at the end can detect that there's a lot of fumes coming out, right? Here's the thing. On older BMWs, it was completely fine. Nothing cares. Nothing matters. You won't make more power. You're not going to make more power, but you could drive it normally and whatever. I'm starting to think in the newer BMWs, I don't know if they're going to do this, but they might put the car in limp mode. They might actually do that. I'm being serious. Why do you not like Mustangs? It's just lazy. It's Ford being lazy. I've never seen a car company so lazy about their sports car, which the sales have been declining. But why are they declining? Why? Right? Thanks for the donut, bro. Smith, thanks for the donut. Why are they declining? You have a decent platform to work off of. Muscle car, engine, transmission, coupe, right? You have a good platform. Why don't you improve it? Why don't you work with it? Get people excited for it, right? I think the 2015 Mustang was the best-selling one because it was the biggest evolution. It was completely different. Why don't they do something like that, right? They made the most amount of sales that year, so they made a ton of money. Why don't they apply that again, right? Because our emissions laws aren't that bad, really. They're really not that bad. Compared to Europe, you can release a 5-liter every year. Don't worry, right? But why don't they improve? Why don't they pull out something different out of the bag, right? The newest Mustang it's the same Mustang that came out in 2015. It has the same doors. The doors on the new Mustang are completely the same. I know everybody's going to say, oh my God, the Mustang, the motor, the Coyote is so good, you can tune it, whatever. But why can't it perform out of the factory? Why can't Ford make a nice packaged car straight out of the factory, just bang, amazing? I'm not talking about the GT500, right? But like, for example, the M4 Competition, right? That car is out of the factory. You don't need to tune it. M4 competition, you don't need to tune it, right? It just performs. It beats the stock C8 Corvette off the line. It just performs. Why can't Ford do something like that? I'm not asking for another V8. You don't have to put a V8 in it, right? If you put in turbos for the GT500, you got to use turbos maybe. You make it all-wheel drive, make it mid-engine, something. Try something new, Ford. Why doesn't Ford innovate? Why don't they actually try? And I feel like this is, and I've talked about this before, this is the same problem they had with the Ford GT. The Ford GT uses an SUV engine, okay? And I know everybody in the comments when I posted that, people were saying, oh, but it won Le Mans, and it's really cool engine because they fit it in a tight spot, and it shows that they don't need a bigger... I understand. Okay, it's a small engine. It's impressive. Why don't they develop something new? You know what they did? They took the F-150 engine, changed the internals, and threw it in the GT. And I'm talking about the Ford GT, the two-door with the flying doors, the Multimatic one, right? Why didn't they engineer a new engine for it? Why didn't they come out with something new, brand new, right? The real reason is they try to work with what they can, right? It's a limited production car, but even then, I don't know. It's just lazy. I feel like they're lazy to me. What if Ford made a stock 5.0 with a twin turbo kit from factory? Yeah. And I'm not the performance type of guy. I know Alejandro, the guy from Lund, he's very knowledgeable about Mustangs. He talks about how performance, but I'm not the same way. I don't strictly care about performance. Sometimes I just like cool cars. They sound amazing, right? Like the C8 Z06. It's not a super crazy car, but I love the engine sound on it. It sounds amazing. Decent performance, but it sounds wow. It sounds like a Ferrari, right? If you put twin turbos in there, all-wheel drive, mid-engine, something, switch up the recipe, right? I'm just tired of it. So tired. But, all right, let's see. Should I tune my 550i E60? And if yes, what should I do? No, do not tune it. No. Should I tune my 2025 Tundra? Why? Why would you tune it? I'm sure emissions is what's stopping them for full sending it on their S650. No. Okay, let me tell you guys something, okay? In America, I don't know about Europe, but in America, you have EV tax credits, right? Smith, thanks for the donut, bro. Or what is that? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Guys, I'm not like the professional live streamer, but anyways. Let me tell you guys how it works in America, right? Not Europe. In America, you have emissions and targets you have to meet every year. It changes, right? You have emission targets. So let's say in 2026, you have to meet 50 miles a gallon, right? You have to meet those targets. If a car you produce falls under the 50 gallons, you have to pay a fee for that. Every mile per gallon under 50 miles per gallon, you have to pay a fee. So if it makes 40 miles a gallon, you have to pay, I forgot the exact fee, but it's like $400. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But let's say it's $500, right? $500 times 10, $5,000. So for the car that makes 40 miles a gallon, you have to pay to the government $5,000 for every car that you sold that makes 40 miles a gallon, right? Now, if you have an EV car, right? If you're a car company and you have an EV car, you can write off some of those fees on your other gas engines, right? So if you, like Ford, if they make the Mustang Mach-E, right? They can have EV tax credits because it's an EV, it's doesn't release any emissions, and it can counteract the Mustang's emissions. Does that make sense? Right? So, and Ford has plenty of EVs. They have the Mustang Mach-E, F-150 Lightning. They're gonna come out with some more EVs soon. They have fuel efficient cars like the Maverick, etc. So they're working towards there, right? Chevy's been killing it with the EVs, or GM. They have the Escalade EV, the Chevy Blazer EV, Equinox EV. They have a bunch of EVs. So they got a bunch of tax credits that they can use towards their performance cars, right? So it's possible. They can do it. And by the way, this is why I talked about last week or the day before. That's why Chevy's releasing an EV Corvette SUV, okay? It's for the tax credits, right? For emissions. I understand that the emissions regulations were removed for Trump. He removed them. But that doesn't mean that they can't be reinstated if another president comes over, right? So it doesn't matter if it was removed this year because another president can come in, reinstate those same laws. Now what are you going to do? If you have a factory pumping out a bunch of Vipers and Hellcats, what are you going to do? So, anyways, how do you feel about the N54 335i? Mine has 70,000 miles. Want to go either MHD or JB4? Holy no, don't do that. Okay, I'm assuming you're from Europe because there is not a single 335 with 70,000 miles in America. Not a single one. But here's the thing. Stuff's going to break on it, okay? That engine isn't the most reliable. Stuff's going to break on it. The block is good, but just everything around it. Gaskets, water pumps, fuel pump, just everything's going to go crazy on that. But okay, this is terrible. But if I had to tell you to tune with something, MHD all the way. Don't use JB4. Why would you use a JB4? You have tuning on your 335. Tuning is unlocked. Why would you use a JB4? But I would really be careful with your 335 because just be careful. That engine is not fun. Thoughts on the GTD? I've said this. The GTD is lazy. The GTD is lazy. They took a GT500, made some changes to the bumpers and give it better brakes, a wing. They're like, here you go. Here's $350,000. Next day, Chevy kicks down the door. Boom. ZR1, ZR1X. The guy sitting with the GTD allocation. I just paid Ford $350,000 for this thing. You're telling me Corvette? You don't need an application to buy the ZR1. Corvette just beat me? Are you serious? Yeah. GTD is lazy. It's peak lazy engineering. Oh my God, it's so good around the ring. Don't care. Literally don't care. You should make a video on that because that's the best explanation I've ever seen of the system. Which system? Yeah, which system? I spoke a lot. GTD overpriced. Yeah, it's an overpriced GT500. It makes zero, and I love the people buying it. It's like, man, it's like the fastest around the ring. I understand. And by the way, I'm a big track car guy. I like track cars. I like going to the track, etc. So I'm not gonna say, oh, you can't take it to the track. You can. There's plenty of tracks in America, right? Road racing tracks. But if you're paying $350,000 for a track car, get a GT3 RS. I'm sure you can afford it. So there's no point. Literally no point. I hate it. N55 downpipe tune, FMI, cold air intake, charge pipes. What's your opinion? What does FMI mean? Full. Okay, let's just go off downpipes, cold air intake, charge pipes. Yeah, that's, I believe that is for stage 2 on MHD. From intercooler. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's stage 2. Go MHD and you'll be fine. You'll be rocking and rolling. But again, N55 E series or F series, because there's a slight difference. But still, MHD for both. Doesn't matter. Would you rather have a 540i or M340? I heard the B58 and the 5s aren't the same. Yeah, I was the one that said that. M340, man, all day. Everybody's saying they'd rather take a 540i over an M340. Can't afford an M340. They can't afford it. If you go look up, not now, but go look up M340 prices. 40,000, 50,000. New ones are 70,000, right? So all those guys, I want a B58. I want a B58. What, 40,000? I can't afford that. They look up the 540. 20,000. Oh my God, B58 boys. It's just, I hate it. I don't know. Let's see. M340 good since I can't afford G80. M340 is a good car. I know I make fun of B58 guys and stuff. Bro, M340 is probably the best bang for buck car you can get now. The best car, bang for buck. You get good performance, good practicality, good reliability, but calm down. It's not the most reliable engine. I know what you guys are going to say. Good reliability, good price if you find it at a decent price at a dealership, right? It's the perfect car. Anybody that comes up to me and says, hey, I want to buy my first performance car, what do I get? First of all, I ask them, do you have money? Right? I ask him, do you have money? Okay? If he has money, M340. Right away, M340. I wouldn't tell them get an M3 or whatever because they'll crash. 100% they're going to crash. But if someone came up to me and says, hey, I have money, M340, right away. Just, hey, I point him that way, down that hallway. M340, right there, bro, right there. They experience it like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And they don't crash because it has all-wheel drive. It's, well, some of them have all-wheel drive, but you can, in manageable power, right? It's amazing. It's great. What car should I get to smoke 1,000? What car should I get to smoke 1,000 horsepower Trackhawk in 0 to 60 quarter mile? Budget is 150K. Who are you racing? But I'll answer your question. You get an X6M. Get an X6M, downpipes, from I don't know if you want to go bigger turbos. Do the stock turbos well? Okay, you'd want to delve a little deeper into how you want to build it, but X6M is the better platform. You're gonna donkey stomp any Trackhawk on the road, any of them, because stock for stock, the X6M is quicker. X6M comp, right? So, whoa, gold man, what happened? Guys, by the way, I'm on Twitch if you guys want to see like a better view. X6M comp, you're gonna smoke any Trackhawk on the road, any of them. Someone said Kia Stinger has factory forged internals. Oh man, you guys are great. You guys are amazing, man. X335i X Drive? No. What any other than an SUV? Oh, I thought you meant an SUV. M5. It's still the same. You're not gonna move away. If you want to smoke any Mopar, any of them on the street, dig racing, roll racing, get a BMW. If you have money. If you don't have money, the Kia Stinger is that way. It's the whole way down there. Okay. But if you have money, BMW. What would smoke a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ with no back bumper? What are these questions, bro? The SVJ isn't that quick, by the way. It's meant to be a track car, right? I think it has 767. Oh my God, I'm never escaping that. I think it has 700 horsepower, right? But it has a giant wing. It's NA. It's not really meant to. It's not meant for straight line speed, right? A lot of cars can beat an SVJ in a straight line. So, like a tuned M5 can probably beat it. So, it's not. You guys have seen that one clip of the 440i beating a Huracan, right? It's NA. It's a track car. It's not meant to go in a straight line. And I'm sorry about saying this because I'm gonna create a bunch of 440i owners that want to tune their cars. Guys, calm down. No, your 440i is not going to beat a Lamborghini. Calm down. That was a one-off video, okay? Don't do it. I'm discouraging any of that. 6.7. Yeah, bro, I'm never escaping that. Imagine someone buying an M340 just for it to be limited to 130 without knowing. Yeah. I bet you guys didn't know that, did you? A lot of people don't know that. I believe if you don't have summer tires on your M340, you're not going over 135. BMW won't let you. I think you need to have the summer tires or, and I don't know if this is 100%, if you do put the correct summer tires from BMW on, I think they can tune it to go above the speed limiter, but it's like to 155. I think the second limit is 155. It's not like 200 or something. But yeah, all you M340 guys. MHD can fix that for you. Yeah, but locked ECU ones, you're cooked. Well, if you send it out to Femto, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you own a BMW and you're like, oh man, I want to tune it, Femto. Do not blow up your engine with JB4. I repeat, do not blow your shit up. Just go Femto. You'll be perfectly fine. Tune on MHD only. Boot Mod 3 is okay, but I heard they're more aggressive than MHD. But MHD, just ride out. You'll be perfect. Check the VIN beforehand. It's the seasonal tires that stopped it from its true potential. Yeah. So summer tires, you'll get the full 155 limiter, and all seasons you'll get 135. Is the Porsche Turbo S considered rare? Somewhat. I guess, because you do need. Well, I've heard that you can get one without too much problems with because here's the thing with Porsche, you need like a relationship and stuff. I've heard that you can get a Turbo S without a relationship, but that's what I heard. Okay, so I'm not sure. With JB4, can't the ECU just compensate with extra boost by changing timing? Okay, but here's the thing. The ECU's goal, no matter what happens, more boost is added, etc. The ECU's goal is, I need to hit Lambda 1. I need to hit Lambda 1. That's how BMW programmed it. That's how BMW programmed the ECU for BMW, right? I need to hit Lambda 1. I don't care. More boost? Okay, I'm gonna hit Lambda 1. It doesn't add more fueling for the buffer, for the safety buffer, right? So the JB4 only control, it's like a boost controller. It's not even nothing crazy. I don't think it changes it. It changes mass airflow sensors, what it reads, and wastegate, right? It doesn't do anything besides that. Anything, right? So when you turn up the boost on the JB4, you know what's going to happen? The ECU is going to say, okay, I need to run at Lambda 1. Okay, 40 pounds of boost. Okay, Lambda 1 blows up. Now, if you sent it out to Femto, you get a full ECU tune from MHD, etc. You'll be good. Why? Because you'll run richer at higher RPMs when boost is in, right? So you'll have that safety barrier. Okay? I know none of you guys teach you this stuff, but I'm just trying to help you out. Thoughts on the G70 Genesis? I'll be honest, and I'm not. If you drive one, I'm sorry. I don't care. It doesn't wow me. I don't care. Not gonna lie, GTD ruined the American Holy Trinity. Demon 170 ZR1 nailed it. Yeah, it was just it's just lazy. It's just lazy. ECU makes the car pop in flames. You mean tuned? Yeah. My M340 threw a check engine light on my way to work today. I wonder why. Can you... Jet got lost. Can you tell me why it threw a check engine light? Tell us in the chat why it threw a check engine light. I'm curious, okay? I'm just a little bit. I'm just a little bit curious. But tell us why, okay? Tell us why. Let's see. My G20 went 160. It's probably tuned. Um, Emissions, baby, catless, no tune. Yeah, if you run catless with no tune and you just want the sound, yeah, you're fine. It's not gonna like blow up or anything. You'll be fine. Honest thoughts on the Audi S5 supercharged. Audi S5 doesn't come supercharged unless you're talking about the older one. Yeah, it's probably isn't the S4 that, or did they share the same engine? I think I think they did have the V6 supercharged in the S5. I'm not sure, but um, I'm I'm not. I don't know. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's stout, but it's an Audi, so you're gonna have to reach around to the back of the engine for the timing chain. You're gonna have to drop the engine. I don't want none of that. So, honest thoughts on the B8.5. The B8.5 is not supercharged; it's turboed, right? Oh no! I was thinking about. Wait, what? Let me search that up. B8.5 Audi S5. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, so I guess it did come with a V6. I thought it was only the S4. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather pick a BMW. I'm a BMW guy, so. Noxy, thanks for the sub, bro. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, S4 S5 have the same engine. Yeah, okay. Audi V engine, timing chain are all hell on earth. Yeah, I've. It's funny. I every single time. Okay, if you have money, it's fine. A lot of you guys, and it's not to make fun of you. I used to be like you guys too. A lot of you guys don't have money. Talking about I want RS5, dude. You're gonna spend 5,000 on the timing chain alone. I'm trying to save you. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm trying to save you. Okay, so just get a BMW. Well, let me. Don't just get a BMW because you also need money for that as well. So just make money, guys. Just save up. I don't know. BMW isn't that much better though. They're both over engineered. No, yeah, it's. I think it's like a preference thing, right? BMW oftentimes has more performance than Audi, right? But that necessarily doesn't make it a better car because some people like luxury, they like tech. So I'm not one of those guys that says, "Oh, BMW is better than Audi and everything." No. Audi has good technology, better ride quality than the BMWs. Okay, I'm not delusional. I know that. So, um, not gonna lie, the Audi engine naming system is confusing. No, Audi naming system is actually very very simple, and it's great. So, Audi has a three-tier system. Okay, three-tier system. You have the A cars, the S cars, and the RS cars. Very simple. Okay, let me fix this mic. The A cars are the economical base model. Well, not always the base model. See, I'm gonna talk about that. The A cars are the least performance. Okay, they're like the daily drivers, etc. The S cars have good performance, decent daily driver performance. The RS cars have the most performance, right? Aside from the R8, the most performance. Now, here's the cool thing, because I think other brands should do this. Audi has different options, trim levels for every model. Meaning, if you want an A5 to daily drive, but you want the most options, you want all the tech goodies, you can get a prestige trim, right? Right? Because if I want just a daily driver, I just want a 2 liter, but I want all the goodies, I can get an A5 prestige, right? If you went looking for a BMW and you want a 5 Series, a 530i, but you want all the nice little goodies, you're probably only going to find base models because the 530i a ton of base models. So you can't search for a top model 530i if that makes sense, right? Audi, I love it. Audi A5 Prestige, give me all the best options. That's how you do it. So I actually like the Audi naming. I think it's great. So I don't know. I like it. If you had to choose, would you choose a new M340 or a pre-LCI X3M? Um, like the same price? I'm assuming the X3M is going to have some miles on it, but it depends on the mileage. If the X3M is at like 40,000 miles, I would choose the X3M. I would choose the X3M. BMW 3000 oil pump. Yeah, that's what happens. Thoughts on brake drifting four wheel? Brake four wheel. Dre the boy. Can you explain that? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Thoughts on the F32 considering getting a 2019 low mileage with track handling package as a daily? F32. Oh yeah, 4 Series. Okay. Yeah. I don't see a problem with that as long as it has good maintenance history. But it's funny you said F32 440i or 430i. Which one? If it's by the way, if it's a daily, get the 430i. You don't need to get the 440. But I'm just curious. I don't know. Is there that much of a difference in terms of reliability between the N55 EWG versus B58 Gen 1? EWG is the F chassis, right? If it's the F chassis, B58 is still better. So here's the thing. The N55 on both the F and E chassis, from what I've heard, they have, what is it called? That, not piston. It's the, it's under the cap, under the piston. It's like that rotating assembly thing. But I forgot the name. It's like bad on every BMW. This is the piston, right? What's under it that connects? It's like the connecting thing that circles around. Guys, help me out here. What's the word? It's like the E92 M3 has the same problem. It's like the rods. Found it. Rods. Exactly, rods. No, that's not the rods. Rod bearings. Yes, I got it. Okay. So, from what I've heard, the N55s, regardless of F chassis, E chassis, they have rod bearing issues. Now, I think it's because of oil starvation, right? It's also because of longevity of the engine, like if it has 200,000 miles. But if you really try and you do your oil changes really good, full synthetic oil, not the fake stuff, okay, Group 4 oil, you can kind of get away with the rod bearing issue. It's not going to happen as often, right? On the N55, right? Not the E92 M3. No, the N55. F chassis, E chassis. Because I had an E92 335, okay? It was an N55. It was high mileage. It was like 95,000 miles, which isn't crazy high for rod bearings, but warm up the car. Warm it up. Always warm up the car. Why? When you get in your car and you just start it up, oil hasn't gotten to the rod bearings yet, right? Or if it has, it's cold. Even if you live in a hot state, oil needs to be warm, not the weather, okay? So, you get in your car, drive it lightly, under 3,000 RPM, until you get to operating temp for the oil, then you're good, right? Thoughts on the 540i LCI? It's a daily driver. It's not a race car, but it's a great daily. Thoughts on first car at a budget of 150,000 as a first car? Bro, what do you do? 150,000 as a first car? Well, I don't want you to crash. Get an M340. Yeah, there you go. M340 always down there. 2016 BMW X530i with the M4 pack. The car is at 120,000 miles. Should my family sell it for something better? Do you have money? If you have money for something better, then yeah. But yeah, it's getting to that mileage where you kind of want to, get rid of it. Well, you should have gotten rid of it at like 90,000 miles, to be honest. But it's not a big deal. 120,000, just get rid of it. Because when you start getting into the 150, 160,000 miles, it's like kind of harder to sell unless your family wants to keep it forever. That's totally different. The only way I'll get a BMW older than 2020 is if it were properly maintained. Yeah, my E92 335 was owned by a grandpa. This guy serviced it at BMW its whole life. Its whole life, 90,000 miles. It was great. Car drove beautifully. It had some leaks. Okay, it's a BMW. It has some leaks, but honestly, and oh my god, I gotta talk to you guys about this. Oh man, thinking about it is just, uh, the Dakota leather on the E92 that I had. The smell of the Dakota leather was intoxicating. I loved it. I was looking forward to drive my car just to smell the Dakota leather. The newer BMWs, some of them use Sensitech for the lower models. It's not real leather, right? My E92 had the Dakota leather was black. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys had to smell it. It was this iconic, beautiful BMW smell. And it was still there at the mileage that I got it at, which was crazy, right? But oh my god, it was one of the best top 3 smells I've ever smelled in my life. And I wish I can get that smell back. I've tried to look for colognes that smell like that. Close one I got to was Tom Ford ombre leather or something, but I don't think it's even close to that. But oh my god, oh man, you guys need to smell it. Let's see, depends on what you're looking for. Should I put twin turbos on my IS 350? Why? 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 Noxy, what is a Swiss spec? Is it just a new TikTok gooner word or is it an actual thing? Okay, so the Swiss spec was a term given to cars in Switzerland. It was like a trend because every car in Switzerland, you see it with chrome wheels and chrome accents on the car. And everybody in America was like, oh, wow, we want to copy them. We want to copy them. And they all look like trash. They couldn't copy them, right? Because all the Swiss spec cars, you got like $5,000, $7,000 wheels on those cars, right? In America, you know what they put on their cars? Apex wheels. It's like, yeah, Swiss spec, dude. Bro, the Apex wheels are made in China. It's an Alibaba wheel. You can get the same wheel for $500 on Alibaba, okay? It's just funny. I don't know. It's just funny, man. 540 is a really good daily driver. Yeah, it's a great daily. Yeah. But should you downpipe and race it? No. So, let's see. Until the inner door handle starts melting, happened to my E92. You know what's crazy? My E92 never had that. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I had a normal door handle. Let me see E92 interior because I don't remember having a normal door handle. I think it was a door pocket thing, like right here. It wasn't like one of these. Let me see. E92 LCI interior. Let's see, because I don't remember. Does it have it? Oh, it does. Yeah, but I don't know. Mine never went bad. One of the reasons might be the older guy that owned it before me was garage kept. The guy kept it in his garage his whole life. So maybe it didn't have sun damage. I'm not sure, but I never had that issue. The car was stock, by the way. I'm a grown man. Let's see. I mean, I like the tech of the 540, but it's so long it feels like a boat. I don't know about you, Zoko, but in America, those longer cars are aura. I love longer cars. What should I get for under 30K? What do you want? Do you want performance or luxury? What do you want? Thoughts on the C43? You know what's crazy? It doesn't do anything good. It doesn't do luxury good, and it doesn't do performance good. Because, well, I've heard some people say that suspension is rough. Heard some people say it's fine. Drive it, see for yourself. But M340, bro, there's nothing. Actually, no, I've had guys that had a C43. Once they drove an M340, game over. They switched sides. The chrome wheel trend needs to stop. Yeah, guys, what's up with the chrome wheel trend? Especially the Apex wheels, guys, like $500. Guys, it's not that those aren't chrome wheels. No, they're Alibaba Chinese wheels, okay? But Not every car needs to have chrome wheels. Chrome wheels don't look that good. Two-tone wheels look amazing. Have you guys seen two-tone wheels? You haven't. I got to bring that back into the trend, right? I'm gonna actually get a car and bring back chrome what was it called? Two-tone wheels. Yeah. Two-tone wheels are absolutely beautiful. It's the best of both worlds. You have a black paint on like the inside of the wheel, and then you got chrome aluminum type finish on the face of the wheel. It's great. So let's see. Get Jake Schnatter on your live. I'm working on getting more guys on my live. I'm gonna have M6 Motion next week. I think if he's around, I'm gonna have the Euro car guy locked in as well. I'm gonna have Issa with the E53. I have a lot of guys. I'm famous now. I'm talking to all your favorite car content creators. So if you guys want to see someone, all you gotta do to let them know, go comment on their videos and DM them, because they know about me. Trust me, they know about me. So if you guys want me to stream with anybody, let them know. They'll come find me, or I'll just DM them myself. But it's tough with DMs because sometimes they don't see it. That's the problem. But when they know it's me, they follow me right away. It's fine. Why do you prefer the 340 F30 over C43 and a S4 B9? Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of the 340 F30. I'm a fan of the what's the M340, the new one? The G30, G20? I don't know. But I'm a fan of the G body M340. Those are great. The F cars, if it's not a M Sport, it's kind of buns. But the G body M340s, whoa, those are real solid. Those are amazing, right? And S4 B9, it's just, I've seen reviews, I've seen people own it. They just say it's not exciting. It just feels like an A4 with a faster engine. Like, it's not dynamic. It's not, you know what I mean? It's compared to the BMW, right? Compared to a Toyota, of course, obviously more dynamic. But I'm saying compared to BMW, obviously. So, when's the next collab live? That's the thing. I have a bunch coming up, but I wanted to do this one with you guys because I just want to talk to you guys, bro. It's been a while since we just had like a one-on-one. Past, what is it, like 3 lives? I was just collabing with people, right? And guys, people are excited to come to my lives. I love it because I get to talk to so many people about their car journeys, what they want to know, and also their followers. A lot of people, they want to know about the people coming on stream, right? They just never get to do it. So it's great, guys. Streaming is, and this is why I chose streaming. There's so much more flexibility. So I think it's great. Yeah. Let's see. Not gonna lie, chrome wheels just look better, especially in photos. They show the detail better. I like two-tone. I don't know. Two-tone wheels are just, it's just better. Matter of fact, let me see. It's fine. It's fine. I'll do it later. But and by the way, the reason I'm not like showing a Chrome browser is, again, TikTok, it like bans me. Sooner or later in the future, I'm only gonna stream on Twitch, but I'm just doing the whole TikTok and Twitch thing so that I can funnel you guys over, because if TikTok gets banned, that's tough, right? My Instagram is still good. I get a ton of views. I get millions of views on Instagram, but it's just, I want to funnel my TikTok audience onto Instagram in case that gets banned. So that's why I do it. Thoughts on the Mark V Supra? Yeah, I don't hate it. Yeah, it's good. I don't hate it. I have the budget to get an M340. I have 25K and looking for performance daily. You can't find an M340 for 25K. If you're talking about the New York ones from the dealership, bro, those are scammers. They're gonna add like $5,000 to $10,000 in like fees. Those are not 25K M340s. But M3, like a G body M340, you won't find one under like $35,000-$40,000. They're up there in price. I'm gonna hit a TikTok comment because I haven't hit you guys in a while. Should I buy a CLA 45? Y'all can reply to me. M340. Well, okay. it's good for what it is, right? It's a 4-cylinder um little snappy car that like um bro, M340, never mind. I just can't. I'm trying to justify it, but it's like, yeah, I can't. I can't. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Why does the B58 sound better in the M340 than the 540i? Well, okay, here's the thing. They sound exactly the same, but they have different exhaust setups. Okay, wait. TikTok is all right. That's fine. So the 540i and the M340 both have the exact same engine, right? Just different tuning and different cooling, right? And miscellaneous stuff. I can't remember it. But since they're different chassis, they have different exhaust setups, right? And even the slightest chassis difference can change an exhaust sound, right? And you can look at the Corvette C7 and the Camaro ZL1. Same exact motor, but the C7 Corvette has a different sound to it. Why? It's just chassis placement, how far away the pipes are, the exhaust layout, right? But for the most part, like 80 to 90%, they sound the same, right? So it's not too big of a difference, right? 540 is tuned for comfortability and has tons of sound deadening. That's true. That is true. Has a lot more sound deadening. Yet, what was this guy? Noxel, you're cooking, bro. This guy's cooking. Why does the B58 sound better than them? Oh, I already answered that. Thoughts on the Alfa Romeo Giulia, if you've ever driven one before. Never driven one, but people say it's really fun to drive. It's like an M3 kind of competitor. The Quadrifoglio. I'm sorry. Just the Quadrifoglio, not the base 2-liter model. People have said it's fun to drive, so I don't know. Test drive one, see how you like it. B58 is the best engine ever made in history. All right, bro. Come on, bro. No, I said I don't have the budget for the... Oh, you don't have the budget for the M340. I have 25K needed performance daily. See, that's tough. Performance daily is tough. I can give you a performance car, but daily driving, that's going to be annoying, right? Because if I give you like a Mustang GT or like a Camaro SS, there's plenty of performance, but daily driving it is like a nightmare, right? Unless you have yeah, never mind. It's a nightmare. Let's see. 540. Get it. Guys. He wants performance in daily driving, right? 340 will give you performance in daily driving, the F30. But you're not, it's, honestly, the performance on it, stock, it's not impressive. It's really not impressive. Once you get into the G body M340i, that's impressive. But the F series 340i, it's all right, right? Like, it's all right. If you've never been in a sports car before, you'll have fun, right? But if you already own sports cars before, you drive it, you're like, this isn't that fast. So it's kind of underwhelming. So, stock. If you tune it, though, get ready for the cooling system to blow up. I mean that sarcastically, but yeah, you will need to watch out for the cooling system. Let's see. Whatever engine is in the SVJ is the best engine ever, not the B. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I like the supercar engines. Ferrari, Lambo, the V12s. I love them. Let's see. Mustang V6 would have made Mustang the best American muscle. Whoa. Whoa. C6 for high teens. Yeah, but he said he wanted daily drivability as well, right? Not just performance. Do you know anything about Renaults? No. We do not get them in America. Sorry, bro. Hear me out. 370Z. Daily driving, though? I don't know if that's a good idea. I do not know if that's a good idea. 370Z is kind of crazy. Just save up more and wait to get an M340. Yeah, honestly. And that's the thing. People have patience, or they have an issue waiting. with patience, right? But I don't know what to tell you guys. Seriously, just save up, save up. What are your thoughts on the new 7 Series Beamers? I hate the word Beamers. Just call them BMWs, bro. Beamers is like for those high school kids, right? Um, I They have great interiors. Great, they look fine on the outside. The split headlight design is kind of throwing me off, but it's a luxury car. I mean, it's not. You know what if BMW did well with the interior, and that's all that really matters on the 7 Series. Don't get me wrong, I do like the previous gen 7 Series looks on the outside. I thought it was beautiful, but what are you gonna do? I mean, you've seen the new BMW designs. I don't know. This is me disagreeing with BMW. Look how easy I go on them. Oh my god, that's terrible. Do you play any video games? Yes, we're gonna play Forza Horizon 5, and I got a creator that I'm gonna do it with. Me and him talked about it. Let me pull up his name. You guys might know him. His name is Swintavious. This guy. He talks about Forza content. This guy. Can you guys see that? Let me show you. This guy. He makes Forza content. And me and him talked, and we're going to do a Forza stream soon. Coming soon later, we'll do a Forza stream. Like, we'll do car meetups and everything. It'll be so much fun. But yeah, Forza Horizon 5. GTA 6. I will be on GTA 6. Yes, I'm going to play GTA 6. Why? Car meets. We're going to take over GTA 6 with the car meets. We're going to have the biggest car meet in GTA 6. Best cars. I'm so excited for GTA 6. Oh my god. I'm going to get an Xbox. I'll do the display capture and everything on stream. And bro, it's going to be a blast. I can't wait for GTA 6. We're going to have so many car meets. How much do you see the 2020 M340 going for in 2 years? That's an interesting question. Like depreciation? 30,000? I know your thoughts on biker guys, but what about the bikes themselves, 600 and liter bikes? I'm not a bike guy, so I don't know. I know that 600 is cc and then you got 1,000 cc. I'm not a biker guy, so I'm not too sure. I just don't like them because they're cringe on TikTok. But I'm not like a bike enthusiast. I don't know too much about them. 7 Series interior goes absolutely crazy. Yeah, they got that new screen up top. They got the seats and everything. The roof, the ceiling has those colors and stuff. It's great. But people just hate the outside, which is, you know, what are you gonna do? Wait, what does this guy say? He said, "Get the one with the 5-liter V10, super reliable engine." Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy. Should do a convoy with viewer subs? Yeah, yeah, guys. I'm gonna be doing car meets and everything. It's gonna be a blast. It's coming soon though. We'll do it later, and I'll announce it and everything. Follow me on Instagram. Here, I'm gonna put up my tags really quick. Yeah. So follow me on Instagram, and because that's where I give all my updates. Anytime I'm going live, etc. That's where I give all my updates. Just screenshot the video, and then I'm gonna take it off because I need to clip, and the tags being there is kind of annoying. But yeah, just screenshot that, and just follow me on Instagram. That's where we get all my updates. But yeah, coming soon, guys. Coming soon. But I want to buy two BMW. I want to buy two BMW M340i, a daily sleeper and a track drag Focus One. Should I or shouldn't just buy M340 as a daily sleeper? Love for real from New Zealand. Thanks, bro. So here's the thing. Why not get an M3? And serious question. Why don't you get an M3? Is it price? Okay? Because if it's about price, you're going to put a lot of money into the M340 if you want to drag race it, etc. If you want to have a build on it. So I understand having one as a daily is cool. I like a daily M340. M340 is like the perfect daily. But the second one, I know what and I don't blame you guys. You guys see a ton of videos online, just B58, B58, 1,000 horsepower, B58. Content creators, let me tell you, because I'm in the content creator game, right? I know what these guys do. Content creators, when they build their cars, add modifications, etc., it's for content. We make money off of it, right? That doesn't mean that you guys do it. Why? If we break an axle, if we have an oil leak, if we blow a turbo, that's views and that's money for us, right? What happens if you blow a turbo, right? Now you got to pay $5,000 for it, right? It's not the best thing. So there's a reason why content creators and people online doing social media, why we have these massive builds and crazy upgrades and stuff. It brings us money. We're not doing it because, oh my God, it's amazing, right? I've had conversations with content creators. They say, honestly, I didn't like this one modification, but I did it for views, which I got. Totally understand. I'm like, yeah, bro, I get it, right? So just because you see a lot of these content creators making different modifications, but a lot of times they're sponsors too, but they don't tell you about it. These different modifications, etc. Guys, it's for content. Like, don't get it mixed up. They get paid for this stuff, right? So when you have 1,000 horsepower M340 build, you're like, oh my God, I could do that too. Yeah, but do you have $50,000 worth of repairs, labor, etc. that you get paid from social media? No. So it's not a smart idea, right? Some food for thought. E63S is the best daily. Yeah, if you have money. If you have money. What is your car right now? It's a daily. I'm going to be doing a car reveal soon. So BMW, AMG, or Audi, which one's the best? It depends what you want. Do you want luxury? Do you want performance, technology? I like BMW. That's my personal opinion. How much horsepower is good daily and fun? That's subjective, because if you have 1,000 horsepower, but the car weighs like 5,000 pounds. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, let me just answer the question. 400 to 500 horsepower is fun and you can daily drive. That's like the sweet spot. So, should I get a brand new M5 or an older one, and what year? Do you have money? If you have money, get a new one, bro. And when I say money, I mean like you make 10 grand a year. Guys, let's not get it mixed up here. A BMW M5 is a $100,000 car, right? We're not buying M5s with a $50,000 salary, right, guys? Just making sure we're on the same page, right? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So if you're gonna buy an M5, make $250,000 a year. I'm not kidding. If you don't want to go broke, right? Again, content creators do it. Why? We make money off of views. That's why we do it. Okay? So, and it doesn't make them fake. It's just that's how the game works. Okay? What would you say is the best overall BMW engine ever produced? Layout doesn't matter. Best BMW engine ever produced. N54. And this is going to sound crazy, but it's just the idea of it, like a twin turbo inline 6 and like a M Light. I love that idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. What's your opinion on GM's failing 6.2 liter V8s? Yeah, so I've heard that recall, and what they did to fix it was they added thicker oil, etc. Here's the thing, because it was rod knock, right? The engine was seized. The engines they got called back were cooked, beyond cooked, right? Here's the thing. I kind of want to search it up. GM 6.2 liter recall failure. Okay, let's see. Okay, potential manufacturing defects to the crankshaft or connecting rod bearings. These defects can lead to engine knocking, reduce. Okay, but root cause. The issue stems from manufacturing variations in the machining process of crankshafts and connecting rods. Toyota also had this issue. Do you guys remember? When the Toyota released the new V6 turbo trucks, they also had machining issues. Okay? Now, is that GM's fault? Nope. It is not GM's fault. The 6.2 liter blew up because of the supplier or third party company that machined those blocks. Now, maybe GM does it themselves. If they do, that's on you, GM. But if it's a third party company, that's on them. Okay? Because it happened to Toyota too. It happened exactly the same way to Toyota. They had machining issues. It had debris inside of the engine, which caused it to not blow up, but like the engine seized, right? So it's part of the manufacturing process. If there's an issue in the manufacturing process, it's not always GM's fault, okay? It's not always GM's fault. A lot of these car companies, they have different vendors, suppliers that do different pieces of their engine, that make different pieces of their engine, right? Control units, transmissions, etc. So if GM third-partied this engine out for machining for the engine, then it's their fault. If GM did it, you guys got to lock in, bro, because GM's my favorite American brand besides BMW. Let's see. Money's no problem? Get an M5. Money's no problem? You're making $1 million a year, get an M5. There's no point of getting a used one. Money's no problem? Yeah. BMW M3 is pricey here in New Zealand, and I see it too often. That's what you see an M3 too often? That's why I lean towards M340 because it's not too popular here. Really? You're saying you see an M340 or an M3 more often than an M340? That's crazy. What are you guys doing over in New Zealand? Two common M3s? What are you guys doing for work, bro? I don't know. That's crazy. Yes, in the Tundra. Yup, Tundra. Yeah, it was the truck. That one had the recall for the engine. Yup. 2J RB or B58 S58. I'm not a Japanese guy. I know the RB is like, oh my god, it's so amazing, and the 2J is like TikTok kid. And guys, I'm not an unk, right? I'm not 80 years old, so I wasn't around for the RB and the 2J, so I'm just gonna say S58. Are Porsche Macans reliable? It's a Volkswagen. No, seriously. I mean, yeah, they use a Volkswagen engine, but I haven't looked into them too hard, so I'm not exactly sure. But I'm assuming if you have maintenance done on it, then shouldn't be too crazy. Apparently GM. Oh, here we go. Apparently GM cheaped out on the crankshafts by getting them from a factory in Mexico that had much less safety regulations. I don't know if that's their fault or not. Okay. Was the Mexico factory GM owned? Right? I don't know if you guys knew, but these OEMs like Ford, Chevy, GM, etc., they have factories in other countries, right? So is the Mexican factory GM owned, or is it still, again, a supplier? If it's a supplier, even if it works for GM, like they do partnership, but if the supplier is supervising and has leadership over that plant, that's not GM's fault. It's the supplier's fault for not checking their process of how they machine the engine. So, let's see, here's the thing. You said cheaped out on the crankshafts by getting them from factory in Mexico. Getting a crankshaft from Mexico or getting a car part from Mexico doesn't mean you cheaped out. Not exactly. That's very normal. Dodge, Ford, GM, all of them, they have plants all across the world. They have Mexico, Canada. That's completely normal. So it's not directly linked to cheaping out. Unless you heard them say, yeah, we saved millions of dollars by doing it over there with this specific company. The location doesn't matter. You can have a plant in Mexico. You can have proper people working there. It's completely fine. But if the company supplier itself is a bad reputable, like a bad reputation company, that's a problem. Okay. So you got to check, is it the supplier or is it GM themselves? My guess is it's the supplier's fault because it happened with Toyota too. And Toyota is really stringent with their factories, a lot stringent than any car manufacturer in America. So if it happens to Toyota, it very well could happen with GM. So that's why I don't like to point fingers right away. I try to understand the situation. So should I go stage one in my 540i 9M Sport? Should I get an Alibaba exhaust? Guys, and I want to say this too. Valvetronic exhausts are from Alibaba. All of them. They have the same Valvetronic remote. I swear to God. You guys can go look it up. So if you want to get a Valvetronic exhaust, get it from Alibaba, please. So anyways, should I go stage one? Yeah, it's not that big. Just make sure you warm up your car properly. Like engine oil is at temp, etc. And yeah, you'll be fine. Okay, the TikTok live went down, saying it's reconnecting. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay, let's see. The crankshafts were supplied by Questum Massimex, a company based in Mexico. The connecting rods were provided by American Axle Manufacturing, that headquartered in Detroit, both not owned by GM. Okay, so that's weird, right? So GM's been building that 6.2 for a while. They've been building it for a ton, but maybe they made revisions and they still stuck with Questum, and Questum made a bad decision during manufacturing when they made those changes. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, not a GM factory, which, by the way, car companies don't have like factories where they produce something. 80% of the time, car companies, they outsource. We need a control unit from here, wheels from here, head unit from here. So BMW builds their own engines, I know, but sometimes they might get like a plastic piece from here, turbos from here. Like you buy turbochargers, you think BMW makes turbos in the factories? No, they buy them from a supplier. So that's not GM. It's a company. Like I said, Toyota had the same problem, so that's interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that. I know, but they just asking because I know they drop shipped them. Yeah, it's funny. You know what's funny? They came out recently. They're like, now we're making our exhaust in America. And I'm like, wait, so what have you guys been doing the past 10 years? Where were those exhausts coming from? Oh, okay, cool. I'm a service advisor at Toyota dealership, and we're still doing those recalls in phases. Holy. And I remember that news broke out like a year ago. That was a while ago. That's crazy. My cousin got one from Alibaba, and it sounds really good. Guys, it's just metal pipes. It's just metal pipes at the end of the day. Some exhaust systems, they have a complex baffling on the muffler to make it quieter or to make it sound more refined. But at the end of the day, it's just pipes. That's why I'm saying, if you're going to straight pipe your car, well, let me not say that. Yes, it's just pipes, yes. But you can have better baffling from different companies, right? To make the exhaust quieter, etc. It's not just pipes. Yes, okay. Auckland is the Los Angeles version in New Zealand and is very often to come across Mercedes, Benz, and BMW and Land Rovers, Lambos, Ferrari, Rolls. Okay, yeah. So you're not in the middle of nowhere. Okay, because I was saying like New Zealand. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Thoughts on the TU3 M550? It's a really funny comment, and I'm not gonna say why. I'd love to answer your question, but I'm not going to, for a reason. Would you get a custom exhaust or spend more for a name brand exhaust and have to install it? It depends on my budget, right? I would look up YouTube videos and see which exhaust sounds good. First of all, it has to sound good, right? I don't care about the name brand. If you pay $10,000 for an exhaust and it doesn't sound good, I don't care. So first of all, I have to like the exhaust sound. So I go to YouTube, just put headphones on, see which one I like, and just go from there, right? I always get really wary of companies that just always advertise their stuff. Nah, I don't want to say that actually. Just be careful where you buy from. Look up forums, Reddit. Just be careful, right? But yeah, just go to YouTube. Just see what you like. That matters more than the name brand. But don't get scammed at the same time. Would you get people forget the metal used in exhaust also help with sound? Yeah, that's true. That's why I caught myself. I didn't say it's just metal. Yeah, and it also helps with rust as well. Aluminum's better for rust. Sometimes there's exhaust companies that use steel and it like all rusts up. So yeah, that's true. I've heard that the Corvette ZR1X isn't even the final product of the C8 Corvette. It's crazy Chevy's going all out. Yeah, we're not over. They're still gonna donkey gap all of bro. That's why I said it's a hypercar, man. It's like a hypercar, right? And that's why not that's why, but I think Corvette, what they're gonna do for the final like version of the C8, the ZR1, whatever it's gonna be called, I think they're gonna make it like a very limited run, like a kind of like a GT2 RS kind of thing, where it's very hard to get your hands on, right? They're not gonna make it because, by the way, 01, 01X, you can go to any dealer and buy it. You don't need like a special name or something, right? But I think the final version is gonna be like the big dog. Like you're gonna need something special to buy it. So we'll see. We'll see. Chill. Why is the M550 funny? I'm looking to get a one. I just don't know how reliable they are. I've heard good things. No, I never said it was funny. I just said, Monk, I'm not going to answer your question for a specific reason. Not because of you. It's not you. I'm not going to answer for a specific reason, but it's not funny. It's not bad. I've heard they're decent. But yeah, it's not you, though. Don't worry. Aren't axlebacks just overpriced muffler deletes? No. Axlebacks have a tone to them. They sound different. Not raspy or drony. You got to understand, just because a muffler delete is cheaper, you just throw out all the mufflers, it's $100, doesn't mean it sounds good. Sometimes it's raspy, sometimes it's drony. Axlebacks do make a difference rather than just stripe piping. But again, is that difference worth it to you? So, you watch a video on YouTube, see what you like, and see what would you pay for it. It all depends on you, right? But an axleback is not a expensive muffler delete. No, it's completely different. It's really good. So, yeah, no, it's completely different. N63 is good. S63 is tougher. Go big or go home. Oh man, this guy wants to. Honestly, get the 850i. It's the same car, but just better looking in my opinion. But I will say it's slightly less practical. Yeah, I love the 8 series, but and it costs more. But I love that car. Yeah, my brother recently got one. It's amazing. What makes a car classify as a hypercar versus supercar versus sports car? You know, I haven't come up with an answer for that. In my head, the first thing that my head goes to is performance, right? That's what really matters at the end of the day. So, but I just don't know where to throw that in there, right? It's tough, but ultimately it's performance. So when I think of hypercar, I think of AMG 1. That one's a hypercar, right? I think of ZR1X. ZR1X. Now, the AMG one is not street legal, so I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say Koenigsegg Gemera or something, right? Gemera, I think what it's called. That's a hypercar. ZR1X, does it stay in that performance realm? I'd say so, yeah. Because the LaFerrari is a hypercar, right? Supercar is slightly below that, so 488 Ferrari, like normal ones. Lamborghini Huracans, C8 Z06. And then sports cars like the Mustangs, the Camaro SS, the M4 competition, stuff like that. So let's see. Uh, Yay or nay on the Valvetronic exhaust? Just get it cheaper from Alibaba, bro. Save yourself $1,000. If I get an M4 comp, what should I add to it, or should I keep it stock? Um, Let me snooze this ad break. Or actually, let me run it and then I'll answer your question. All right. Thoughts on the straight piping BMW 340 Gen 1? It sounds loud and rowdy for no point. Are Corvettes reliable for everyday driving? Yeah, but why would you want to daily drive it? That's terrible. You're going to like break your back. That's terrible. The new AMG SE Performance is a hypercar I feel heard. No. The AMG SE Performance? You mean the four-door? That is not a hypercar, bro. I don't care what you say. That's crazy. What do you think about the newer Corvettes? I love them. I told you. The new AMG, let's see. Thoughts on the Swift Sport? I'm not sure what that is. Bro, ain't even looking here. If you want me to answer your chats a lot more, go to Twitch. I'm telling you. Because it's tough keeping my eyes both in the same spot, right? But, yeah. The new one's faster than the M5 CS. Yeah, but that's a four-door. That's not a hypercar, though. That is not a hyper. That's a four-door, bro. That's crazy. What's your thoughts on the M850i? I like it. I like it. It's a great car. Thoughts on the W204 C63? Bro, I think I've seen your comment like 5 times. That's crazy. All right. I'm going to answer these guys in a sec. Should I keep it stock? All right. So, M4 comp, should you keep it stock? If you want to keep the value on it, and you know, I see, I'm a OEM plus kind of guy, so I would say keep it stock, but it's your money. If you can afford, modifying and stuff, by all means. I'm coming from a Challenger, so it's not a huge jump. I don't really care about two-door aspect. They're just a lot more expensive for a decent spec and decent mileage. I'm just kind of trying to get a CPO. Okay, yeah. But you got to understand the Challenger is comfy. Yeah, it's pretty comfy, so just get ready. Just get a B58. All coupes though, right? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Would you still consider a car to be regular traffic even if it's performance oriented? Okay, I've been seeing that word thrown around a lot, regular traffic. Regular traffic in my mind is I see the car everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I don't see a 340 everywhere. I'm not going to lie. Okay? I see Kia Stingers everywhere. That's regular traffic. I see Elantras everywhere. The Hyundai Elantras, Toyotas that's regular traffic. But don't tell me an M340 or an M5 is regular traffic. That's crazy. Unless you live in LA. Okay, that's completely different. But yeah, that's not regular traffic. I see a lot of people talking about the 01X and how good it is for the price. That makes hypercar that makes hypercars have power. But I find it hard to believe that Chevy should price it $200K like a here. I think it'll be much higher, especially of how rare it could be. Well, the Corvette was always supposed to be marketed as the supercar killer, right? And it can't be that if it's overpriced, right? I understand what you're saying, like it has a ton of performance. Why don't they overprice it? They'll be alienating a bunch of their buyers if they do that. So that's why they kept it at that price range. I was originally looking at a 340, but I would get a new one so bad, or no, what? I would get one new, so I don't really want to mod a BMW until I've had it for a few years. Stock M550 is a lot of power to begin. Yeah, it's a lot. If performance is what determines hyper super sports car, then you couldn't buy an M4 GTS or something like that. Build it perform hypercar. See, no, you can't do that. I know what he's trying to say. Like, can't you get an M4 GTS and build it to outperform hypercars? It's still it. I forgot to mention this. Part of what makes a supercar, sports car, hypercar is also aura. Okay. Do you get hypercar aura from an M4 GTS? No. Not really. It's a great car, but do you get hypercar aura? Nah. Don't tell me you get hypercar aura. So it's also about aura. What do you think about the MA50i? Great car. I love it. Finally, you can also get the Grand Coupe too. It's a boat, but it's fun to drive. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I honestly like the M850 more than, but $80,000 isn't good. Isn't worth a good spec in my opinion. Guys, yeah, it costs money to have a car, guys. Surprise, surprise. But okay, I'm gonna answer one more question. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more question. Let me pick. What car has the most aura in your opinion? CLS 63 AMG. Honest opinion. Have you driven an X3? Guys, one more. Oh my God, one more question. Okay, I'll just answer. Oh, Kareem, what's up, bro? It's finally seen you here. Uh, yeah, I honestly. Okay, I'll just answer all three of them. That's it. But that's it. I'm answering all three, and then that's it, guys, because I need to go to sleep. What car is the most aura in your opinion? Zero One x. No, but seriously, Zero One x Ferrari A12 competition. Um, yeah, A12 competition too. CLS 63 AMG, honest opinion. Boyna Galava, like it's cool. I don't have anything against it. Have you driven an X3M? I know they're way faster than the X3 M40i, but I heard they're laggy under 3,000 RPM. I like low end power in the B58. Yeah, I don't know what those guys are talking about. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, I have no idea what these guys are talking about. It's not. It's actually the opposite. It's twin turbo. The S58 and the X3M, it's twin turboed. It's not laggy at all. You're gonna have a ton of torque. So, but okay. Anyways, guys, great stream today. We talked about a ton. So it was great talking with you guys. Great chatting. Uh, I will be back probably next week. I might have a guest on. Probably the what's his name? The Euro car guy. I believe that's his name. Yeah, probably gonna have a guest on next week. Again, I always stream on weekends. Let me put this up. I only stream on weekends at like 10 o'clock. So follow me on Instagram if you want all the updates to whenever I stream, because I always post on there when I stream. And yeah, it's been a great live. We talked about a ton. I will see you guys later. Have a great night, everybody.